Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you guys about my year 1 on Poshmark, and I'm going to tell you guys the truth about being on Poshmark for a year as a reseller and my experiences and the ups and downs that I had. The first struggle that I had using Poshmark and it was a struggle to figure out how to stop doing it because it wasn't helping me and it was only hurting me because I was wasting money doing it, and that was buying because it looks cute. And I'm a person that likes to shop, I will admit, so I thought Poshmark was like a dream job, like because you're basically getting paid to go thrifting and then you're flipping the clothes on Poshmark and doubling your money, if not making more, because you find something that's worth a lot and you buy it cheap. Having come from a background of buying full price items and not thrifting, because I never liked to thrift, it was more of like my parents' thing and I always thought it was kind of gross, so I never really liked to thrift. Even throughout college I was paying full price for clothes and stuff, and the only time I didn't pay full price is if I like bought something on sale at the store, which is good, but also it's nowhere near as cheap as the thrift store. Once I figured out how cheap everything was, I started buying just like anything I thought was cute, because I like having clothes anyways and I like having different outfits all the time, and so I just bought everything that looked cute to me. And guess what? Everything that's cute doesn't always sell, because one, it's not a brand that people look for, and two, you're the only one that thinks it looks cute. So those were the first problem. That was the first problem that I ran into when I first started Poshmark, is that I didn't understand why my stuff wasn't selling, because I thought it was cute. And yeah, so that was problem number one. I mean, I'm not saying that I never did sell any of the first items that I bought. I definitely have sold up until today, I have 301 sales, I think, on Poshmark. So I mean, I've definitely sold a lot. Even those items that I didn't think would ever sell, it just took a lot longer because people weren't searching for the brand. So I mean, it's not a total loss to buy things that you think are cute, but don't expect a quick return, because it's gonna take longer. It's gonna have to be someone that's stumbling upon it, because they're not really looking for that kind of thing. They just happen to see it in your closet and buy it. So you might get lucky, but it also will take a little bit longer to sell those items that you thought were cute. You always want to make sure that you're staying on top of brands that are being searched and selling fast. Like for instance, Lululemon has always sold very quick and very well for me. It does yield a higher profit always. Well, pretty much always. There are some patterns that people aren't too keen on buying, but for the most part, all Lululemon, I don't want to jinx myself, but for me, all of my Lululemon has always sold. So in my year of learning things as I go in this process, I've definitely learned to be more on brand and know the brands that are being desired for, basically. So instead of selling something like No Boundaries, which is already a cheap item, unless it's like a style people are going for, like a bodycon dress or something. Like I remember I've actually sold one of those and I was surprised because I didn't think it would sell. Like I'm saying, you might get lucky and it might sell. But if you want to have a quick return, definitely buy brands that people are already looking for. That way you're gonna pop up in their search because you already have that item that they are wanting. So the next thing that I learned on my journey through Poshmark is looking for flaws. And this is something that I have still done to this day, but I've gotten a lot better. Looking for flaws before you complete your purchase. I've done this so many times because I get caught up in the it's cute, and then also, oh, it's a good brand, and then I buy it and take it home. There's no hope of me fixing it, or the stain doesn't come out. So yeah, looking for flaws has been a really hard one, especially when it's a brand that you know will sell well, but also if it has a hole in it, no one wants to buy that. So that can be difficult and annoying. Now I'm trying to get to the point where I check, literally the last time I went to the thrift store, I checked all of the clothes twice to make sure there was no stains, holes, tears, pulls. Also, looking before, I can't stress this enough to be looking for flaws, because not only do you need to look for flaws before you purchase the item, because obviously you don't want to purchase something that you can't resell, but you also want to make sure that you look for holes and stains before you send out the package as well. That's just because, like, sometimes there's little things that you miss and you don't even know. So, like, you always want to make sure, like, yeah, you might have checked it at the store, you might have checked it when you were taking the pictures of it, but, like, you just check it. Just check it again before you send it out, because I have accidentally sent a package before and one of the pockets on the front of a cardigan had been ripped at the seam, which it was an easy fix to sew back up, but I had sent that out and I didn't notice it, and that looks bad on me. So, like, just double check your stuff before you send it, because that's embarrassing on me, because, like, no one wants to have torn, ripped crap. Like, that's not what they're paying you for. So, yeah, make sure you check it. Take the time to look up and know your pricing and how much something is or how much it will resell for, because sometimes you'll run across a brand that you don't know and you luck out. And I've done that too, and I've come home and I started looking up brands that are selling on Poshmark, and there's been brands that I passed up that were worth a lot, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I should have got that. Also, something that has become very clear to me throughout my year on Poshmark is that you need to keep your own record. Poshmark on their app does have a sales report, an inventory report, and they also take out taxes for you. Basically, just keep your own records. Like, yes, Poshmark does keep pretty good records for you, but you always want to have your records of your own, whether you're writing down or have an Excel file on your computer. Like, it's very important to you to know how much that you're making and your cost of goods sold. Also, the receipts, keeping the receipts from any thrift store you go to or anytime you're buying to resell, keeping those receipts is very important. You also want to know how much and keep track of how much you paid per item. Even if you're buying bulk, it's very important. Usually if I buy bulk from the Goodwill outlet, I just count how many articles of clothes I have, divide that by the total, and that's how much I technically paid per item. So that's how I keep track of even purchasing bulk items. You also want to know how much Poshmark fees are per item. That way you know how much you've profited after the fees are taken out. You also want to keep track of costs incurred using printer ink, tape, and any add-ons or tissue paper that you use, because all of those things cost money and they are a business expense, so you also want to keep track of those things. And also thank you notes, those can be an added expense to your business. And on the topic of thank you notes as well, in the beginning I didn't really do thank you notes because I had been watching a lot of eco-friendly YouTubers and minimalists and people that were trying to reduce waste. So I was like, oh, what? And they thought of thank you notes as wasteful because they couldn't reuse it or repurpose it. So they were actually saying like they didn't like that in their packaging. So I guess I was catering to one market, which is not a sole market that I was even selling to. So in the beginning I didn't put thank you notes in because I saw it as an extra expense to me and I wasn't making that much at the time. So I decided not to do that until I got a 3-star review from someone who had bought some shoes from me and left a comment saying that it would have been nice had I put a thank you note in the package, and that's why she gave me 3 stars. So I was like, okay, we're gonna start doing thank you notes because 3 stars is not okay. I don't want 3 stars, I want 5. So I started looking into ways to keep it cost friendly for me and to make a thank you note instead of like purchasing actual thank you notes because they're kind of expensive. So I started using scrapbook paper and cutting it into little squares to write thank you notes on. Anytime I go to the thrift store and I find thank you notes and they're under $1, I definitely get them because like that's cheap. In my opinion, just do it because it makes the customer feel appreciated. It just shows that you're thankful for their business. And if you're not wanting to spend a lot of money, my sister actually came up with this idea from her Poshmark closet. The boxes that we use to ship from UPS, at the inner flap, you can write a thank you note on the inner flap of the box so that when they open it, they see the thank you note and it's not something that they have to worry about throwing it away, and they can still reuse the box and you're not having to add any extra costs to your business. So that was a really good idea from my sister, to write your thank you note on the inside of the box. Okay, so on the note of packages, packaging can be difficult sometimes. Always make sure you're packaging properly, making sure that if you are selling like a home good item or something that's breakable, that you're making sure that you put packing peanuts in there or bubble wrap. So I have used magazines that are just laying around the house that I would just normally throw away, just wadding up that paper and putting it in the box. That way the item is more protected. And also packaging, it is amazingly cheap already because we on Poshmark they use USPS and you can get free boxes from their website, so you don't have to pay for any of that. They even have envelopes. They have bubble wrap envelopes that are bubble wrap on the inside. Those are the ones I use most of the time. Not to mention the shipping is paid by the buyer, not the seller. But one of the most important things I've learned on Poshmark is to make sure that you represent you. And by saying that, I mean it's your business. Think how you would expect someone to conduct business with you. So represent yourself well so that you can have a thriving closet also. Also, something else I learned is to make sure that you keep it your own. Yes, you want to find things that are gonna sell, but also having your own style and being uniquely you can actually make you a lot of sales because people know where to go to buy that certain style. I've definitely taken in all that I've learned because now I'm using it to the best of my abilities, and I'm actually selling a lot more on Poshmark now because I've learned and had to grow through all of the things that have happened. So I hope you guys like this video. Hopefully you can help, some of my struggles and tips will help you and you don't have to go through them. So thank you guys for watching this video and peace out.